Hello, my name is Siddharth Yerajenu, and I'm going to present Sonnet 27, Pomo. On the right, you see a picture of Shakespeare. So let's get started. In this video, I'm to aim to read Shakespeare Sonnet 27, translate Shakespeare Sonnet 27, and analyze Shakespeare Sonnet 27. But before we get started, what exactly is a sonnet? A sonnet is a 14-line verse written in iambic pentameter. There are two types of sonnets, and these include Italian and Petrarchan, or English and Shakespearean, and these sonnets are determined by their rhyme schemes. So let's read Sonnet 27. It goes as follows. Weary with toil, I haste me to my bed. The dear repose for limbs with travel tired. But then begins a journey in my head to my work, my mind when body's work expired. For then my thoughts from far where I abide intend a zealous pilgrimage to thee, and keep my drooping eyelids open wide, looking on the darkness which the blind do see, save that my soul's imaginary sight presents thy shadow to my sightless view, which like a jewel hung in ghastly night, makes black night beauteous and her old face new. Lo, thus by day, my limbs by night, my mind for thee, and for myself no quiet find. Here's a picture of the first two lines of Sonnet 27, which is often used to identify a sonnet. Okay, now that we have read the sonnet, what does it actually mean? When the sonnet says, weary with toil, I haste me to my bed, the dear repose for limbs with travel tired, but then begins a journey in my head to work my mind when body's work expired. For then my thoughts far where I abide intend a zealous pilgrimage to thee, and keep my drooping eyelids open wide. This translates to I have given my body rest after I worked throughout the day. My legs and body are tired from the day's work. As soon as I got to bed, a new journey in the head begins. My mind is working when my body has stopped. When I sleep, the thoughts tend to alter from what actually happened. I have a plan for the passionate pilgrimage of you. I am awake with the eyes open. Continuing on, when the sonnet says, looking on darkness which the blind do see, save that my soul's imaginary sight presents thy shadow to my sightless view, which like a jewel hung in ghastly night, makes black night beauteous and her old face new. Lo, thus by day, my limbs by night, for thee myself no quiet find. That translates to I am looking in the dark, I stare like blind people do. In my heart I see you. Referencing it here, he's referencing his friend. Although it is hard to see anything else, you stood out like a gem in the night. With your presence, the night looks beautiful and young. Because of you, my body does not rest at night, and my mind does not find peace at night. Here, Shakespeare Sonnet 27 piece by piece analysis. The theme of this sonnet can be identified as the effect of being separated from a loved one. The tone of this sonnet can be said as sad. This is true because the Speaker is thinking about being with his partner, but instead he's just thinking of her. Point of view is the speaker explaining how he is tired and wishes to rest, but he also wants to see his loved one. Imagery, here the speakers saying it was a dark night that looked beautiful and new. This evokes the reader to understand what exactly is happening in the sonnet to better understand it. The author also uses connotation and denotation. Zealous, which means passionate. And when the speaker says, which like a jewel hung in a ghastly night, makes black night beauteous and her old face new. The speaker chooses to write like this to depict how beautiful his lover actually is and how much affection he shows to her. The syntax of this poem follows a rhyme scheme which is A B A B C D C D E F E F. In other words, the poem rhymes by every A letter rhyming with another A letter. Same thing with the B, and so on. The speaker uses this to grab the reader's attention. This iambic wording tends to stick to the reader. Analyze. Analyze. Continuing on, paradox presents thy shadow to my sightless view, and this paradox, as the speaker mentions, he cannot see anything, but then he sees a shadow. The speaker does this to portray the ideas which are occurring in his mind. The author also uses figurative language such as personification. When he says drooping eyelids, here the speaker eyes are not literally hanging, they are just closing. This was written to portray the tiredness of the speaker, but that he is not able to get over his lover. The sound devices used in this are consonants, and the speaker uses consonants throughout the poem when he rhymes with his AB AB pattern. For example, when he says bed and head, this portrays to the reader the feeling that the speaker feels and how he wants to catch the reader's attention. Euphony. It was also used when this poem presents how the subtleness and the easiness of the words on how easy it's to say, and this allows a smooth pattern and allows the reader to understand what is actually happening. Now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and here are the sources that I used. Thank you.